What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the show. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about our quarterback number 9 right here and why J.J. McCarthy is going to break the NFL and cause some problems for opposing defenses. Coming up on today's show, and also we got some quotes from players talking about McCarthy, Dan Orlosky talking about him, so we got a lot to discuss. But before we do so, if you guys could hit that subscribe button today. We're closing in actually on 58,000 subscribers. When I first took this channel over here at Chat Sports, we had around 3,000 subs, and I never thought I would see the day we would be closing in on 58K. So it's all credit to you guys. I really appreciate the support. You guys are the best fans in the world. So if you guys have not already, please help us out here. Hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 58K before the first preseason game. I think we got an outside chance, but hey, if you guys are new, hit that subscribe button today. I love shout out to producer Dylan grabbing our Orlovsky headshot for his time with the Lions. That's awesome. But Orlovsky said this on J.J. McCarthy. He says, if J.J. McCarthy is decent for the Vikings, they will be in the NFC title game. Now, this was Orlovsky mainly just giving love to the support system. You know, Kevin O'Connell, Josh McCown, all these weapons, the improved offensive line. He is just viewing this Vikings team like, hey, if J.J. McCarthy is just decent this upcoming season, first year starting, he believes this team is good enough to go on a deep playoff run, and Kevin O'Connell finally gets some playoff victories here in the NFL. But Orlovsky also said this, saying, I've said this. I truly believe that J.J. McCarthy is going to go for 30-plus touchdowns and 4,000 yards. It's a custom-fit offense for him. It has been since the moment Minnesota selected him. It's the best play caller / offensive line plus wide receiver combination probably in the NFL. And if he's average, his stats will be similar to what Sam Darnold did last season. I think he's going to have a phenomenal season. Now, I will say on Orlovsky's front, this is a bold claim that he's going to throw for over 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Because, again, at Michigan, it's not like they asked him to do a whole lot. But just because they didn't ask him to do it doesn't mean he can't do it, which is, I think, is a common misconception with J.J. McCarthy, is people think he is just this typical game manager, wasn't a highly touted recruit coming out of high school. This guy was a 5-star starting quarterback in IMG, went to Michigan, won a natty there. Like, he's got all the accolades. He's got everything, but still a very, very bold claim. But Orlovsky's kind of in the mindset that, like, everything Darnold did last season, it was a product of the system. And, actually John Middlecoff, former NFL scout, he was talking about Kevin O'Connell and his relationship with Tom Brady. Obviously, they used to be teammates, and the Raiders were in the market for a quarterback. And he was kind of throwing it out there that he thinks KOC went to Tom Brady and was not like, hey, stay away from Darnold, but just be a little cautious. Like, yes, he put up some great numbers. We won a lot of games, but was it really because of him or was it because of the support system? I think a lot of people are starting to understand it was because of the system in Minnesota. So why the believe in J.J. McCarthy? Obviously Dan Orlosky can stay whatever, but I think it also matters more what teammates say about him. These are the guys that are with him every single day at practice, and the best wide receiver and the best non-quarterback in the NFL. This is what he had to say. Justin Jefferson on J.J. McCarthy saying he can let it rip for sure. That's definitely the thing about him. He has a very strong arm. The velocity of the ball and the spin of the ball, he has a tight spin. And guys, I just can't wait for the first the JJ touchdown call. Obviously, we'll be calling the games here on the channel, but I cannot wait to also hear Paul Allen's call for the first McCarthy, the Jefferson touchdown. Could you imagine? Honestly, KOC, I'm calling you out right now. First play Monday night against the Chicago Bears in J.J. McCarthy's hometown. Set up a play-action deep shot and just let this kid uncork one and just give 18 a chance. Maybe you run the same play you ran against the Niners when Jefferson had that 97-yard touchdown. But I love hearing that from Jefferson, but it's also Harrison Phillips. He said this, saying, I've commented before about how he came to me the week after his injury to try and learn more about the defense, asking those great questions. He's really stepped up in the personal power role this year. In the locker room, I'm constantly seeing him go up to new guys, to see our 2 new players dapping each other up, sitting on the couches, and just having conversations. Where last year it was off the rehab, off the meetings. He understands that we have to build a family here and that you can't have unique results without unique relationships. I love that last part from Harrison Phillips. But he also compared him to a pretty damn good quarterback, Josh Allen. And he goes, and then, man, he's got some confidence. And it reminds me of Josh Allen when I was with him in Buffalo. coming into his own and understanding the power that he has to lead this organization, and he's doing a fantastic job doing that. And I love hearing that from Harrison Phillips. Like the fact that JJ, tore his meniscus and he was going through a pretty tough time in his life. Like he didn't view that as like, him playing the victim. He said, okay, well, now I have a chance to go learn more about the defense. He was asking Harrison Phillips if he can watch defensive line film with him. Would you ever think of a quarterback needing to watch defensive line film? But that's how much of a sicko this guy is in trying to get better. But it was also his tight end, TJ Hawkinson, talking about him, saying, I remember catching passes from Matthew Stafford. It zips on you. Looks like it's not coming, but it's coming. JJ has the juice behind it where it kind of has that effect. And I swear, maybe I'm wrong, but I heard a bunch of people saying JJ McCarthy didn't have a strong arm this offseason. I don't know where that narrative started. Colin Cowherd throwing that out there to millions of viewers is just criminal. Because remember the one thing we were saying about McCarthy and his arm? We thought all he had was a zip. We thought, layering the football might be an issue for him. We saw in that first preseason game, he should be just all right. But, we were talking about that, like, hey, JJ almost zips the ball in way too hard. Like, that was a conversation around him coming out of college. And then for Cowherd just to get up on there and say, oh, McCarthy doesn't have a strong arm, it's just ludicrous. He's going to have one of the strongest arms in the NFL. And it's cool seeing Hawkinson compare him to Matthew Stafford, Harrison Phillips, comparing him to Josh Allen. Like, that's high praise from his teammates. But number two on why to believe in McCarthy, we've talked about this a lot. It's the intangibles. Like, the kid's just made of the right stuff. He already is mature beyond his age. Like, the guy's engaged. He's about to be a dad at just 22 years old. Like, that's naturally just going to grow you up a little bit. And, I have said this a lot. Whatever J.J. McCarthy's ceiling is, he will reach it. And listen, if J.J. McCarthy doesn't have it and his ceiling is being the 20th best quarterback in the league, he'll be that. But what if his ceiling is being the third best quarterback in the league? I think he'll reach that because of his work ethic, because of everything he's made of. He's just made of the right stuff. And, whatever, max amount of potential he has in that body, because of his mindset, he'll be able to get that all out of himself. Just, again, like we were talking about the Harrison Phillips quote, like the fact that he was asking Harrison Phillips after the toughest time of his life to go watch film, it speaks to the person and just the mindset that he has. And, third here, I think it's a perfect marriage with Kevin O'Connell. Like, Dan Orlosky said it. It's a system built for J.J. McCarthy. Even Mina Kimes, when J.J. was coming out of college, she was saying, like, this is a perfect Kyle Shanahan-esque quarterback, a Matt LaFleur, a Sean McVay, and now Kevin O'Connell being just that. And he really does remind me of a younger KOC. Like, hearing these guys talk at the podium, they're both addicted to the process, man. Like, I remember KOC's first press conference with the Vikings. He was like, yeah, we're going to be addicted to the process. J.J. McCarthy had a very similar saying, saying, I'm about the day. I'm just trying to get better each and every single time I step out there on the football field. So he really does remind me of a younger version of Kevin O'Connell, which, that is great news for Vikings fans. But, this is an obvious one here at number 4, a support system. Like, you just think about the Vikings offense, there's really no holes. Like, you got a damn good offensive line now. Like, the fact that they replaced the 4 offensive linemen to the left of Brian O'Neill, that's fantastic. Like, they spent a first-round pick in a draft when they didn't have a lot of draft picks on an offensive lineman where, yes, did they need a left guard? 100%, but they could have just put Blake Brandel there. And I think the Vikings support system is the best in the whole NFL. Like, if I was a quarterback and let's just say it was like a draft of all the quarterbacks in the league, I bet you have asked those guys' agents and those quarterbacks would be saying, I want to go play with the Minnesota Vikings because of Jefferson, because of Addison, TJ Hawkinson, a great quarterback coach in McCown, a great offensive mind in Kevin O'Connell, and now in a newly improved offensive line. You got everything offensively to succeed, and you also add on the fact you got a damn good defense. Brian Flores would just tell these guys, hey, get to 21 points every week, and we're going to win a whole lot of football games. But I'll also add this last part here. J.J. McCarthy's past. Now, if you guys remember, when I was making the argument that Sam Darnold might have a breakout year for the Vikings, I was huge on the fact that, or I was huge on the year he had in San Francisco, where even though he didn't play, but he was just around Kyle Shanahan, he was around Brock Purdy. I really think everybody in life is just a product of their environment. And J.J. McCarthy, he's had elite coaching throughout his whole playing career. Like, even dating back in high school. Tim Rackey. Most of you guys don't know who that is. He is the best Illinois high school football coach of all time. He's won multiple championships. Then JJ goes to IMG, gets great coaching there in a, pretty much IMG is just a smaller version of a college with the, weight training program and everything they have there. And then at Michigan, he gets Jim Harbaugh. Like, this guy has had great coaches since he's been 14 years old, and I truly believe that matters. Like, everybody's a product of their environment, and this guy's been around the best throughout his whole career. So that's another reason why I just believe in the kid. And if you guys believe in the kid and you guys want to show QB1 some love, type his jersey number, type those 9s down below in the comments section. Can't wait to see him rocking and rolling Monday Night Football in Chicago. So type those 9s down below in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. See y'all next time. Skol Vikes.